Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch may have some wacky ideas, but he can put together a rifle and has some of the most retarded novel designs on the market. I know I'm kind of making fun of you right now, but if you could please release the MRGGA 14.5 inch 6.5 Creedmoor this year, that would be awesome. Thanks, bye. Now the centerpiece of this video is a Larue stealth receiver set, which is a really good option in my opinion for most applications, and the unfortunately discontinued PredatAR A3 barrel, which is actually fantastic. In a cruel twist of fate, this product is dead while the C-note lives on in its place. A cruel reminder of the cold, uncaring world that we've been thrust into. Now this upper was assembled and sent in to me for evaluation by a kind viewer of the channel to play around with for the last several months, so thank you very much, sir, it has been a pleasure. Also, in case you didn't know, this was a Larue upper. He put his name in no less than 3 places on the receiver and on the BCG as well, just in case there was any confusion. Memes aside, Larue makes some good stuff. Now some of you fellow Larue enjoyers may have noticed a sudden doubling of their prices on certain accessories on the website. And what I got out of the fine gentleman at Larue is that they hadn't really changed or updated their prices in the last decade, so they decided to do it all at once. Also, that gives their distributors a lot better margin, so you should still be able to get lower prices from their partners, which might be more annoying than getting what you want straight from Larue, but it's just the way things are going at the moment.
That felt pretty darn good.
Now the Stealth 2.0 receiver set is about one step away from being a complete monolithic upper, with none of the downsides of installation, proprietary parts, and compatibility issues that you might find on LMT, LWRC, or Knights. For instance, you can easily install almost any barrel you want. We'll get to that later. The receiver and handguard are aligned together with 2 steel dowels and then 4 bolts lock them together. There's no chance of rotation, making them great for IR lasers or anything that needs to hold 0 mounted to the rail. It also has the advantage of being truly free-floated because the handguard mounts to the receiver, not to the barrel nut. The barrel nut just sits underneath the handguard, meaning that you will have less interference and deflection you can get with some rails. Some people will say that it also helps out with accuracy. There's probably some truth to that. Either way, it's a good system that retails for approximately $500, which isn't bad considering what the other monolithic style receivers go for, if you can even buy them a la carte. Now you may notice that the rail is adorned with these rubber panels, which are actually from Larue, and they come in sets of 21. They are thick, bulky, and rubbery, and I personally don't like them, but they may just be there to protect the rail from me. With them installed, you basically get the size and weight of a quad rail without any of the benefits. Not a big deal, but not for me. Now moving on to the sadly discontinued A3 PredatAR barrel. It's 18 inches long, mid-length, chambered in 5.56, and finished in a black nitride. Before these disappeared completely, they were on a steep discount, and you could put this upper together for less than $1,000 easy. Now the profile is hybrid. It's thick in the back and skinny up front. Insert joke here. Overall weight is in the middle of the pack for an 18-inch barrel. The Larue gas block has a super long journal, probably for better gas sealing if I had to guess.
That could have been a lot more efficient there.
Oh, and it's also triple dimpled, which is triple the dimples of Geisley, but 1 less pin. So if my math is correct, subtract the dimple, carry the pin, and then you get a unnecessary tangent about the oddities of one Mark Larue. Physical attributes aside, how does it perform? What's the accuracy and how is it gassed? Well, accuracy is really good. With 5 to 7 different loads, we were able to put some groups right at or under an MOA. And with cheap ball ammo, we were sitting around 2 MOA. Now I also took this upper out to 600 yards with the PLXC and some Hornady 73 grain ELDMs. In terms of accuracy, it's very capable.
Impact. Impact. Hit. Okay. 5 mils is correct.
Now as far as operation goes, it's basically set up perfect without a suppressor. It's incredibly pleasant. Yes, the Reardon single port brake helps a lot, but even with carbine buffers and springs, it's on the softer side of things. Not undergassed, but just right where I prefer it. Now throwing on a high back pressure can, and yes, the bolt velocity increases of course, but no noticeable gas to the face or discomfort while shooting. That comes later when I get the cancer diagnosis. Anyways, none of that last bit really mattered much as the barrel is gone forever, so thank you for your service. But at least for now anyways, you can get the receiver set, which is great for me. Now I can unconsensually join together the minds of Marky Mark Larue and Bendy Bill Geisley to create the ultimate rifle. The Gayru, or the Leslie, or the Gaisu. I'll work on the name later. But my plan is to use the Stealth 2.0 receiver set, a Geisley taper profile barrel, probably a 14.5, my BCG and charging handle of course, probably add the Larue trigger and the Geisley 42 buffer system to the lower to create the rifle that no one asked for, but now you probably want it. The best part is, as long as the Stealth receiver set is still available, it's not that expensive, like $1,000 or so for the completed upper and a few $100 for the lower and accoutrement, and we will be off to the races. All jokes aside, I do genuinely like the eccentric madmen leading these companies and coming out with innovative products, and some silly ones as well, but genuinely trying new things and pushing the envelope of what the AR platform can do. Somehow, 60 years after its inception, it's still the most capable modern rifle on the planet. Now, what is somewhat sad to see is the fall off of other big players in the industry. Colt's fall and mismanagement should be studied. There is a chance that they still turn it around with new leadership, but if I were a betting man, I know which way I would be leaning. Point being, Larue being in the market makes me happy and it's great content. Speaking of which, I just wanted to take a moment to say thanks to all of those watching. We recently hit 70k on the channel and I quite literally could not do it without you. I know not everyone is happy with the current direction of the channel, but that's just part of the process. I mostly took January off as I was gone for part of it, sick for part of it, and then I was also at SHOT Show, which sickness and SHOT Show are not necessarily the exact same thing, but closely related. But going forward for the rest of the year, we should have at least 1 or 2 videos a week and then 1 or 2 streams per week. So once again, gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out. But with all that out of the way, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you in the next one. God bless.